Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it. You already know. Like some torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Before we get to the content, let's get to this dope intro. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I highly appreciate the support, man. I'm very, very humbled by it. So let's talk Bozo the Clown. You know what I'm saying? A bullshit. Let's talk some bullshit. Let's talk about Bozo, the Southside general, right? The blue team, not the other team. You know, me and Bozo have not seen eye to eye for a whole bunch of various different reasons, right? And one of the main reasons being, man, he just hates him some Nortenos, huh? Damn, bro. You know, I've never, ever in all my time of doing time, ever come across a vato from Southern California, a righteous vato from Southern California, a real Sureño, a Southsider from down south, past Bakersfield, right? That has ever had so much dislike or hatred for Norteños than Bozo. Now, there could only be two reasons. One, Exhibit A, right? He just believes the indoctrination that he got, and he thinks that the dudes from up north are like space aliens or something, and they're coming trying to take over, right? Or two, which is more feasible, something bad happened to him while he was in the penitentiary by some Northerners, right? That could be the only reason. You can't hate someone you don't know. You can't hate somebody who has never done anything to you. You can be told to hate someone, but ultimately that's up to you. That shows follower tactics. When someone tells you, hey, you're supposed to hate these vatos because of this, this, and that, and you go ahead and do that. Especially dudes that are not even, they're a thousand miles away. And I still have the love to remember you by rat-a-tat-tat-tat, right? There's no reason to hate someone that's 1,000 miles away. They pose no threat. They're not in your barrio stomping in their steel toes headed for a murder show. They're not in your barrio fucking disrespecting you. They're not on the internet disrespecting you unless you disrespect them. And then it becomes a mutual thing. Now, I grew up in Northern California. I'm not an exception to the rule. When I was an active Norteño, when I was gangbanging, yes, we were glitched up to not care for Southern Hispanics, Southerners, Southsiders, raza from down south, or raza that was representing the South up north even more so than anything. And the reason we were told these things is because there was literally Southsiders posting up, invading the land. That was the word for it, invading. They were invading. The invasion was real, right? There was Southsiders. They were always there even before I was doing what I was doing, but they started to pop their head up out the motherfucking garage like, what's happening? That's it, right? Soul gang. And then it became war. So you have to understand, growing up in Northern California, because there is North and South, or vatos that are from upstate representing the South, there's going to be some conflict. There's going to be some tension. So yes, coming from a Norteño's perspective, I could see where there's some animosity there. But coming from a vato from down south, Southern California, because the claim to fame has always been, there ain't never been no Norteños down south. There never will be, right? That's the propaganda Bozo pushes, which is the truth. He's not lying, right, when he says that. So why hate the people that you have no fucking animosity with? Now, I understand his thing is, hey, if they're against my homies up there or anyone representing the Sud, I can't fuck with him. I get it. But he's a rapper, okay? You could be a gang member and a rapper at the same time nowadays. Nowadays, it's not like NWA portraying gangsters, but really not in the streets like that. Nowadays, you got vatos like Tommy Guns, Lefty Gunplay, Bands, GB, all these rappers that are really allegedly from somewhere or something and are representing that, and they're doing it through their music consistently, right? Now, I've said they're placing themselves in boxes and cajas. That means they're not going to make as much money as they could make, but whatever. To each man his own, man. If his barrio and his reputation and the activities mean more to him than making a pile of money doing music, I get it, man. I just don't understand why you continue to make music if you're not going to make money, because I know me and I'm not in it to lose it. I'm in it to win it, right? Anything I do, there's got to be a dollar sign behind it. I'm not just fucking going to go waste my time, my effort, my energy, and work harder. You know, I work smarter. Go cocaine is a hell of a drug. From the last video, I'm just elaborating, comparator. So now, Bozo does an interview the other day, and in the interview, man, I gotta say, Bozo's intelligence game has stepped up. I think he's finally figuring out, that the north-south shit is for the birds. That, not the Huelga bird, for the birds, right? That it's the first time I've ever seen an interview with Bozo where his intelligence really, really shined through for a long time. Because I'm not going to lie, in the past, he's a smart guy. He's definitely a smart guy, man. The gang-related aspect of it doesn't mean shit. It's the intelligence and the way you carry yourself. I don't care if he wears gloves and sunglasses and thinks he's Nipsey Hussle. I get that a lot. In his interviews, the thing that I care about is the way that you express yourself and when people ask you a question, the way you speak on it with respect. And he was asked a question. It was an interview done on Mile High, which I believe is a channel from Denver, Colorado, or from Colorado. And he was asked about music, about will there ever be a Norteño and a Southsider collaboration? We've all been wondering. Now, we've seen the things with Swifty Blue lately where he's willing and open to doing songs with Northerners, right? Active or non-active, I don't know. And then we've seen people like Big Toro. Oh, the aliens are coming. The aliens are coming. 5G, right? Where he just disrespected all the Northern rappers. He got on the Swifty Blue hype, and he's open and expressed many times that he's willing to work with Southern rappers. Now, in his case, he doesn't count because everybody knows that fool might fuck around and lick your ear or something. You got to watch out for him in the booth, right? But even more so than that, no one's going to take that seriously, even though he's a great rapper, fantastic rapper. I can't deny his skills on the mic, right? He knows how to rock the mic. But he also, there's some bad shit in his past, right? So no one's acknowledging that or even taking that seriously. Those that know fucking know, like for reals. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the alien life forms are like, whoa, bro. You know what I'm saying? You'll be in the middle of rap, people like, and then I'm on the streets, and then the aliens came, and then the aliens, like, what the fuck is that, bro? Shit, this is supposed to be a North and South collaboration, not a North-South and the fucking dudes from planet Mars, right? Anyways, Bozo's asked a question. Will he do a collab? Is there ever going to be a collaboration between North and South? And he actually said that the time is now. It's time. After all the bullshit, after all the disrespect, after all the back and forth, it is now time. But he had to put an addendum in it. I won't do it. Of course, he said he won't do it. He's above everyone. He's the general. I won't do it, but it should be done, right? And also he elaborated saying that once you become a star, like, okay, let's take Lefty, the artist formerly known as Gunplay, for instance. No one could deny it. I was in denial for a while because of the skills on the mic, right? Like, man, this dude Lefty's going to get his 15 minutes of fame and then he's going to get the fuck up out of here, right? His eyes are going to roll back and never roll forward. But I was wrong. His star continues to shine. He continues to grow. He continues to elevate. His team continues to put him in the right positions where it's becoming more than music now with Lefty. I wouldn't be surprised if he pops up on your local TV show or a movie or something. This dude is literally making power moves wearing shower shoes. He's floating around Hollywood. He's floating around everywhere he goes, and he's making noise. He's starting to be recognized for his accomplishments. What are those accomplishments? I still don't know, but he's being recognized for them. So he's blowing up, man. You can't do nothing but respect it. Hey, is he carrying the torch for Mexicans to the next light? He is at this point, especially for Vatos from Southern California. That's a fact, right? We're still waiting on the next Northerner to pop up and do something, right? Rest in peace, Woody. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a Northern beat to step two, right? So there's no denying Lefty. So what Bozo said is once these guys become stars, they become bigger than the gang. They become bigger than the North and South issues. And then at that point, man, it doesn't matter who you collab with because can no one say anything? Well, let me say pump your brakes. First of all, it doesn't matter how big of a star you become. If you're a gang member, you're a gang member. There's always going to be that forever. The guys that come into the game that do not participate in the shenanigans, they're around or associate with gang members because that's pretty much the way it is. If you're going to be a gangster rapper or talk about certain things street, you have to at least have some type of association. You can't just do it by Googling it, right? You have to really know what time it is. But those dudes, like the Burners, like the Baby Bashes, like there's so many other various artists, the Little Robs, right? That were never really a part of the Norteño, Sureño, Southsider guerra war, didn't dedicate themselves to that, they can make money because they're allowed to collab with who they want to collab with, do concerts with who they want to do concerts with, whether it be in San Bernardino one weekend, Hesperia the next weekend, San Francisco the day after, Watson 2 days later. And everyone sees them as just brown men making money. And they like their music because they're good rappers, and that comes before anything. But when you've already put out there, hey, I'm a fucking Norteño or I'm a Southsider and this is what it is, then you're in the caja. So it doesn't matter how big of a star you become. Yeah, you could fucking do a song with Akon, or you could do a song with Kanye, you know, when he's not at a Diddy party, fucking chorra. You could do these certain things. But as far as the North and South thing, there's always going to be those gangbangers in the streets, those people in the streets that are like, hey, homie, wait up, ese. Didn't you say at one point in time you were representing the soul? You know what I mean? They're going to, you soul gang, remember? You said that. They're going to trip. So I don't think that means much. When Bozo says, once you become a star, you elevate. Star don't mean shit to me. It never has. I don't care how big of a name you got, how much popularity you got. Does that open more doors for you? Absolutely. Money will make waves, right? Do you know how to surf, though? Do you know how to ride those waves correctly? Or are you going to just fall down and get bit by a San Jose shark? That's the true question. As far as North and South doing collaborations, I got to say, Bozo said it. Fill it up with unleaded. He finally has matured enough to understand that there's money to be made. But it's still the same old shit. I won't do it. But other homie, well, why do you put yourself in a position above anyone else? What makes you better or not willing to do that? Not willing to take a risk. See, that's the problem. People are not willing to take the risk. You know, when Goto, shout out Goto's, man, GT Digital, really rocking and doing their thing and putting people on consistently. Go to his IG, tap in. That dude is always into something, man, just putting people on, making money, right? I support and respect the shit out of that man right there. That man has done it for the brothers. He's done it for the Northerners. He's done it for the Southerners. Doesn't matter, man. He's a businessman making power moves, wearing shower shoes. Hey, that dude is putting a whole bunch of paint where it definitely ain't. When he tried to do that in Southern California, Bozo was he was not a poser, but he was an opposer, right? Sounded like my microphone was cracking for a second there. He was very opposed to what Goto's and the movement he was bringing, what he was trying to do, which was definitely just some business with Southern California. He wasn't trying to unite people. He wasn't trying to make it all good in the hood. That's above his pay grade. He was just trying to do some business with dudes from Southern California because he recognizes their talents. Because let's be honest, man, 20, 30 years ago, all that, boogum, I'm your puppet, that shit wasn't it, okay? But nowadays, Vaulters from Southern California are rocking. There's no denying people like OGZ, Peso. There's no denying people like Swifty Blue. You know, there's no denying, and I've never denied like Conejo and Baldacci and them. They got it, right? They've been had it. But dudes like Mr. Soto, dudes from down south, doesn't necessarily mean they're representing Sul, but dudes from down south definitely got talent. And I know that Gotos has a smart enough mind to recognize that and say, hey, man, we can get some money together. I got the connections. I got the stages. I got the mics. You got the talent. Let's do something. But oh no, Bozo, he stuck his motherfucking red nose up in there and said, no. Try him, Haters World. These guys were big advocates for Blue Team. Oh no, we can't let Norteños come. We can't have that. When they didn't come like that with disrespect. It wasn't like that. Gotos came, you know what I'm saying, with his heart in his hand, beating, boom, 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 boom. And every time it beat it with money, business, right? But these individuals were like, nah, bro, he's trying to come over. It's a gang. They kept it a gang thing. They kept it, we can never collab with them Vaulters from up there, them busters. We can never collaborate with those chaps or whatever they were saying, right? Which is funny. Derogatory terms, man, you get derogatory results. And so what happened was eventually Goto said, you know what, I'm going to just do with what I do with who I do it with, and I'm going to go over here and just keep it pushing, right? And then he had guys like Gil, American Cholo. Oh, man, I'm not allowing, I'm not letting guys from up north come on my channel. And this, I mean, there was just so much hatred, it's misplaced hatred. Why? Okay, now you got Bozo doubling back, Mozzie style now and saying, hey, maybe North and South should do some collaborations. Maybe that shit would be a good thing. But not me, right? And like I said, the not me refers back to what happened, homie. What really happened, homie? I heard nobody did shit for my cousin. What's that a reference to? Who's going to say that? I'll give you a t-shirt if you know what that's a reference to. Anyways, so The first person that says, not everybody. If I can't afford it, I'm a broke Mexican. I'll say this. When it comes to Bozo, I respect the fact that he's open to it. It's not like he runs the whole show or the shenanigan, and it's if Bozo says it, they do it. But he's definitely a voice. He has a platform. He was on that interview, and that's the first time I ever heard him, say that it should or could be done. Because you got to understand, any other time it was like the Nortenos are not on the Southsiders level in music, in life, chicks. I mean, everything. He said our lowriders are better, our chicks are better, our water tastes better. You know what I'm saying? When we shit, it's bigger. I mean, it was just that Volta was like anything up north, anything past fucking Delano was all caca to him. Like, and the cool part was you're not even up there, bro, to know. You know what I'm saying? There's Mexicanos working hard. They say they're striving and struggling for what they believe in, just like they're doing it down south. There's tortillas everywhere. Guess what? Hey, Bozo, they sell tortillas up north, right? And they make them mano. So, his hatred for the Northerners and Norteños, to me, was misplaced. For someone that doesn't have no interaction with somebody to hate them that much, if you dislike someone or you're like, hey, I can't fuck with them because, I'm part of the blue team or the red team, it is what it is. I understand. I was once in that same position, man. I was once like, man, I can't fuck with them Vatos until I did time in Southern California. See, I did time, Bozo. And when I went to Southern California as a kid and Fred C. Nellis in the YA system, and I did time around some real Southsiders, real dudes, really handling their business. And I got an understanding of how they rock and their barrios and their history and what they were doing. And I said, damn, bro, they're doing the same thing I'm doing, just in a different city. That's when I knew right then and there, I don't fucking hate these Vatos. I'm going to do what I have to do because I don't want to get stabbed by them or my own homies. But there's no hatred here. It's all business, nothing personal. And the rap game is business. So you got to do business before you get out there on the stage. So to consistently be like, nah, fuck them Vatos, I'll never do nothing. It just doesn't make no dollars, and it definitely doesn't make no sense, right? Now, when it comes to Bozo saying what he's saying now his stance has changed. Now it's like, yeah, maybe it's time. It's been time, bro. And people are like, well, what's the big deal? Who cares if the North and South come together? Do you understand the juggernaut that would create? You mix them up in the pot, you know what you got. That's my Eminem impression, right? He said, you got the illest, the realest killers tied up in a knot. North and South in this rap shit, like it or not, right? Like it or not. If the North and South collaboration came together, imagine the tours, imagine the people, imagine the people will open their eyes and be like, damn, bro, they're really doing it. There's a lot of talent on both sides. But if you have people pushing hatred on both sides, man, it's never going to work out. Now, there's dudes from up north that do the same thing, and they'll have their own video. But as far as Bozo, man, I got to say, I recognize the intention, saying it's time. But when it went back to, like he said, but not me, though. I won't do it. First of all, you're not a good enough rapper to do it, bro. Let's be honest. Like, you're good, but not great. You would definitely not be the first one to do a collaboration because it wouldn't sell at all. Right. But just a change in mindset, shows me growth, shows me that it can be done. When you got someone as hard as rocks that is closed, like, nah, fuck that. I ain't fucking with them cats, period. And he starts to think about it and realizes, hey, man, maybe there is. Because believe me, someone's going to do it. The North and South shit will be done. That's 100%. Who's going to be the first one to do it? Who has the balls to do it? Or are you scared about what other people are going to think? Now, I know on the northern side, there's a lot of animosity there. It's probably going to be harder for the Northerners to want to do it or to do it because everyone's like looking at each other like, well, I don't want to get removed, right? I don't want to be all bad. The South Side is pretty much, their program's a little bit different. The South Side is, from what I know, man, if it makes dollars, it makes sense, right? Let's make money. As long as the money goes to where it needs to go, that little 30%, everything's good. Facts, right? Like I know that, right? When it comes to the North, it's not like that. It's more, I don't know, bro. Everyone looking at each other, right? Anyways, so I just wanted to put out there, Bozo has changed his stance on Nortenos. Does he still hate him? Does he still want to bust a grape? Welch's, right? Welch's juice, of course. But as far as the North and South making music, according to Bozo, man, hey, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Open your eyes, right? It's going to happen. He just ain't going to do it because, I think I'm going to be honest with you. Just looking at it from the outside looking in, man, I think Bozo got beat up. I think probably fought some Northerners, man, and he took the L that day and he just can't get over it. Get over it, bro. You're 50-some years old. Get over that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Recognize and understand that you're a pillar of faith in your barrio, a pillar of truth. People recognize you and respect you in your hood. That's all that should matter. You know, trying to make everyone fall in love with you or think you rap like Nipsey Hussle. No one ever going to do that or believe that, even though you get that a lot, right? We're just not going to believe it because the ethnicity of it is, you know, is you got to learn how to spell before you can learn how to rap. Just a fact, right? But as far as, you know, the North and South collaboration, yes, I believe it will be done. And I believe Bozo's headed on the right path. But that shit about the stars, fucking, once you become on a certain level, you can do whatever you want and no one can say nothing. Shit, you get whacked today just like you get whacked tomorrow. It's the facts. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. I'll say this, though. Respects to Bozo, man. Even though we haven't seen eye to eye, and I know, I'm not active, and you can't, fuck that, this, listen, bro. Mr. fucking high power, fucking whatever you are, right? I've never hated you. I've just never liked you. The gun. Bang, bang.